Welcome to the Mind vs. Action journey, where every week I will share experiences, thoughts, and ideas on how you can go from thoughts in your mind to actually taking actions. Life is not formed by just what is in our mind, but by actually taking action on what is in our mind. It is not enough to simply hope, think, and wish. We must take action. In a world filled with entitlement, choose to live by one simple rule: gratitude. Life changes when you do. What does it mean to live by the rule of gratitude? For me, to live with gratitude means recognizing everything we have that is good. All these things that are truly blessings that bring incredible joy and happiness to our life. Speaking of joy, to live with gratitude means to find joy in the smallest things we get to experience daily, but most importantly, to fully recognize at the most conscious level those who made it possible. Those who made possible the life you have now, and those who helped you get there. You see, I love life. I always have. Even when life gave me major setbacks or obstacles, I still loved my life for the simple reason that I was still alive, which meant I could change my reality, and for this fact alone, I have been grateful. I grew up in an environment that in retrospect made me who I am today in many ways. That environment was a real definition of the waning evolution of survival of the fittest. I had to earn my existence and what came in it. Nothing was given to me. Nothing. Everything I had, even as a child, I had to work for. Everything I have today, everything I have built and succeeded in, I worked for. Nobody did it for me. Nobody gave it to me. Nobody put in the work for me. Nobody made it easy for me. Heck, if I think about it, many only made it harder and at times try to take me down. But even with me knowing this, I am still grateful for what I have lived through. I am still grateful for those people who have tried over and over to screw me over. They never succeeded, and they only made me stronger, and for that, I am eternally grateful. For those that have taken me for granted, I am grateful for you too. When I think of it, I didn't really do it for you. I did it because it is who I am, a giver. A giver because I know what it is to struggle and to have to no one truly to help you. A giver because I know what it is to come from nothing. A giver because I know what it is to feel hunger. A giver because I know what it is to be the underdog. A giver because I know what it is to be the minority in a world of the majority. A giver because in my eyes, it is simply the right thing to do. Today though, we live in a world where many, not all, but many take life for granted. We live in a world where many take their loved ones for granted. We live in a world where many take their friendships for granted. We live in a world where many take their lifestyles for granted. We live in a world where many take for granted where they were born. We live in a world where many take for granted the life they get to live that was not made possible by them, but for them. We live in a world where many take for granted the challenges they are given. We live in a world where many take for granted the streets they walk on or drive on. We live in a world where many take for granted the security and freedom many of us have. We live in a world where we take for granted the homes we live in. We live in a world where many take for granted the time we were given, that though it is long, it does have an expiration date. We live in a world where many simply take for granted the mere fact that they woke up today. Many did not. We live in a world where the entitlement has just gotten out of hand, in my opinion. Why is this? In my belief, because the environment in which we exist today that was created by people before us have made it so good for us that we have just lost sense on what is hard. We have lost sense on what is truly to struggle, to truly face real challenges. Not challenges that those that have made possible what we have today called blessings. We have seen nothing but abundance at a macro level, and this distorts reality for many. The reality that everything we have today can easily be taken away, can easily be lost. Entitlement, in my belief, is what is crippling our world. The ability for people to truly grow as human beings. This false notion of, I deserve simply because I exist, it is damaging. Not so much for the people that have made our lives possible, because they know what struggles are and what gratitude is. They know what building is. They know how to create. They know how to rebuild after all has been lost. I know this because I am one of them. The problem is that the entitled do not know any of this, and so when the day comes when life gets real and they have to prove their worth, they simply won't be able to. And this is why it is damaging to the very same people that live in a state of ungratefulness. I have always been a believer that one must not suffer in order to learn, to grow or appreciate if we simply learn too well. Appreciate what we are given, especially when it was given without even earning it or doing something for it. Existing does not entitle us to anything. The more I grow as a person, the more I am starting to think that maybe, just maybe, there is something truth to that old saying of no pain, no gain. But even with that, life has given me in terms of negatives. I still deeply believe that we don't need to suffer, struggle, or hurt in order to grow, to mature, to live life from a state of gratitude. Time will only tell. I am lucky a father of 3 beautiful children that if my belief holds true, I will see it come to life through them. I will get to live it with them. I remain hopeful that my belief is true. I remain hopeful that my children will grow to live from a state of gratitude. Because when we live from this perspective, life happens. Nothing can stop a person that never gives up. But most importantly, nothing stops a person that never takes anything for granted and that lives from a state of gratitude. As we know that if we are still breathing, for that alone, we should be grateful. Many just took their last breath. Gratitude. It is a game changer. It really is. Start counting your blessings today. Life changes when you live it from this perspective. Please subscribe to my blog, podcast, or YouTube channel to get notifications when my weekly entry is posted. I promise I will never disappoint. Thank you. Until next time, I challenge you to own your thoughts, actions, process, results, and ultimately your life story. Most importantly, I challenge you to go from thoughts in your mind to taking actual actions on those thoughts, as nothing happens until actions are taken.